moms, welcome to Made to Mom, where we talk about how to make mom life easier. Today we're going to be talking about 5 things I wish I would have known going into pregnancy. You know, in movies we see all these ladies that just look glowing and just like that, they're 9 months pregnant and ready to push that baby out. That was not my case, and I doubt that was a lot of your cases. So let's talk about these 5 things. I was 22 when I got pregnant with Tanner, and I was 24 when I got pregnant with Luca. And both pregnancies had one thing in common. I was so sick. I was so sick, guys. The first thing I want to talk about is that morning sickness is not just in the morning, and it is not over after the first trimester, at least for me. With Tanner, it lasted 40 weeks. Yes, 40 weeks. And with Luca, it lasted 25, which was a lot better, but still, 25 weeks of being sick was awful. I tried everything. I tried these Preggy Pops from Target. I tried these C-bands that are supposed to, I don't know the science behind it, but I guess they push something right here and it's supposed to make you feel better. It did not make me feel better. It did nothing. And I also got prescribed 2 medicines from doctors, and nothing seemed to help. So I was a little lost, and I had to go out on my own and find what worked best for me. And there wasn't necessarily anything that kind of just cut it out, but there were things that made me feel a little bit better. 2 things, in fact. That was sour candy. I know that sounds really weird, but Sour Patch straws were my best friend. That's what they're called, right? Sour Patch straws? I think so. And the sourness just made me feel a little bit at ease with that nauseousness. I always had them in hand. And the second thing is a shower or a bath. You know, a lot of doctors say don't take a shower or bath because it can raise your temperature. And guys, I'm not a medical professional, so if you want to do these things, talk to your doctor about it. But for me, it was cool with my doctor, and it relieved so much of that sickness. In fact, that was when I felt best, was when I was in the shower or bath. The good thing is that you get this beautiful baby at the end. You know, I was puking until the day I gave birth to Tanner, but I would do it all again the next day. They are so amazing, and you know, that sickness you just eventually forget about until the next time. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, with Tanner it was 40 weeks, Luca it was 25 weeks, so minus another 15 weeks for the next one. Maybe that's only 10 weeks of sickness. I can hope. You know, they say with girls, that's when you're most sick, so that was not my case, obviously, because I have 2 boys. So I'm hoping maybe next one's a girl and I'm not sick at all. So morning sickness, guys, is not just in the morning, and for me, it was more than just that first trimester. Number 2, your body will do weird things, and it is completely okay. I remember telling Trevor that I had an itchy belly, and he's like, Holly, your belly is growing. That is normal. The doctor said this would happen, but I was like, no, we need to call him. And I did end up calling him because it wasn't that serious. But if something serious is happening to you, of course you should call your doctor. But it's okay. Your body will do weird things sometimes. So we had itchy bellies. We had stretch marks. It didn't happen with Tanner, but it did happen with Luca. They were on my belly. There was just a few, but they can also happen on your legs. They can happen on your calves. They can happen on your arms, your boobs, wherever. Stretch marks can happen. And I did find that Palmer stretch mark cream did help for me. Number 3, leg cramps. I found that if I wasn't drinking enough water, that I would have some really bad Charlie horses, and that was no fun. And then, guys, there's something called lightning crotch, and it is awful. It feels like there's lightning bolts shooting down your legs in all areas, and I didn't have that with Luca, or I didn't have that with Tanner, but I did have it with Luca. So that is something that can happen. Pregnancy to pregnancy can be different, just like a woman's pregnancy over here can be different than this woman's pregnancy. Your pregnancies can be different as well. Another thing that I did have with Luca that I didn't have with Tanner, that I thought women were crazy about when I was pregnant with Tanner, heartburn. There's this old wives' tale that says, if your baby has hair, you will have heartburn. If your baby does not have hair, then you won't have heartburn. Well, Tanner was bald, no heartburn. Luca had hair, heartburn. I say it's true. That's that. And the last thing that was really weird for me was my sense of smell. I knew I was pregnant with both boys because I could smell from a mile away. In fact, with Luca, I could smell Tanner's diaper from across the room, and I said, Trevor, I am pregnant. I was only like 2 weeks pregnant at the time, and I took a test and it said negative. The next week, I was like, no, I'm pregnant. I'm taking another one, and it was positive. So all these weird things can happen, and there's, I'm sure, 1,000 more things that can happen on the list. Just be prepared. Weird things will happen when you're pregnant, and it is completely normal. Number 3, sleeping is impossible, at least for me, for many reasons. Like sickness that I already mentioned, you gotta get up and take care of business. Peeing, I'm sure you've heard about this one, you pee a lot towards later in the pregnancy. Heartburn, like I mentioned before. Okay, I probably did something that was not safe at all. I would sleep with a Tums in my mouth, which is a huge choking hazard, but it was the only way I could fall asleep because I had such bad heartburn with Luca. The obvious reason, you can't sleep on your belly because you have a big old belly, but something you might not know, you can't sleep on your back because it affects the baby's heart rate and such. So I found that the Snuggle pregnancy pillow seemed to help a lot with me, and I could create like a little cocoon where I could lay on my tummy because it was like not touching the bed. That seemed to help a lot for me. And just a lot of other reasons, like you might not know, your baby is actually typically awake at night because during the day you're rocking them to sleep by walking and stuff, whereas at night they're like, okay, it's time to play. It is hard to sleep, guys. That's all I'm saying. But that might not be your story. It was my story. And again, the baby's all worth it in the end. So you'll sleep. I'd like to say you'd sleep when the baby's born, but you're probably not going to sleep then either. So take naps when you can and be ready for just sleepless nights and sleepless days and just lack of sleep. But they're cute, I promise. Number 4, you're a pregnant girl. Get comfy and get comfy fast. With Tanner, I try to hang on to those skinny jeans as long as possible. I put a rubber band around that band and make sure I could keep them on, but it was super embarrassing because you had to cover your shirt over it and it just didn't work. So don't be afraid. Get out those maternity jeans and rock them. You know, they're way more comfy. With Luca, I put them on before I probably was even pregnant. I was like, I don't want anything to do with those skinny jeans. And it worked, and I was so much more comfortable, and it actually helped with my sickness. Another thing that helped a lot was not wearing a wired bra, just wearing a nursing bra from the start. It seemed to work for me, and I used the Kindred Bravely bra, pretty comfy. Good support. It did the trick, and you're going to use it when you're nursing, so double whammy. Go on walks. Your hips are going to hurt, so you want to make sure that you know that you're getting your exercise in, and it also helps with a lot of other things like getting that baby out later. Use an exercise ball. That helps with your hips a lot too, gets you a little more comfy, and it also helps get the baby out. Just those are some of the things that help you get more comfy. Don't be afraid to do it, and don't be afraid to nap too. That also helps you get comfy, and you're tired, you're growing a baby, take the nap. It is okay. So get comfy from the start. Number 5, I think this is one of the most commonly overlooked ones, but it's super important, and that is, it is okay to ask for help. My husband was one of my greatest helpers while I was pregnant with both boys, especially in the second one when we had a 1.5-year-old and I was super pregnant. So he was there bringing me food if I needed it and I just needed to rest, or bringing me water, or just taking care of Tanner. One of the things that I think is most funny is that at the very beginning when I was sick, he was there, you know, rocking me on, holding my hair back, rubbing my back, and I got to the point where I was like, Trevor, I've done this enough. I got this. You don't need to be here for this. So I was like, I'm a pro. We're good. Tanner actually came in after he was done with that, and he would rub my back and he'd say, it's okay. And it was just the sweetest little thing. But he's not expected to do that, of course, but my husband, my family, my friends, your husband, your family, your friends, whoever it may be, is there to help you. That's what family and friends are for. This brings up something that I think is so important that I think a lot of women avoid, and that is announcing that you're pregnant before 13 weeks. There's this huge stigma about it to not announce it because there's fear of losing a baby, which does happen, but why not celebrate that baby? Because whether the baby is lost or, you know, the baby makes it to term, that baby deserves to be celebrated. And if you were to lose that baby, you deserve to have someone there grieving with you and supporting you through it. So just make sure you ask for help. Take the nap, you know, ask for help, ask for the food. They will do it. And if they don't do it, it would have been a no if you didn't ask. So don't be scared to ask for help. I think that is so, so important. So those are the 5 things I wish I would have known going into pregnancy. So you experienced mamas out there, drop in the comments below the things that you wish you would have known going into being pregnant. Or if you're pregnant for the first time or just pregnant right now, what are the questions that you have? Drop those in the comments too. And if you were just a mom out there that needs support, go ahead and find me on Instagram, message me. My username will be at the very end. And don't forget to click subscribe. Bye, mamas.